Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Science Flipping Podcast. I am your host, Justin Colby, and if you're not watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to go over to justincolby.tv and go watch this, as I have another incredible guest. Naaman Taylor is here with us today, but before I get to him, hold on. As you all know, I have one sponsor, our main sponsor, minutepages.com. If you are a realtor or an investor and need a presence online to gain credibility, influence, and authority, you must go to minutepages.com. There is an incredible tool that is on those websites that can help capture leads organically right there. So minutepages.com is our main sponsor. Now, I have an incredible guest here. Very recently, he has come into my world, and I would consider him a friend. I end up talking to him more about Dallas real estate than probably anyone else here. Naaman Taylor is here. What is up, brother?
What's going on, my man? Thanks for having me here on the podcast. Let me reach out to your platform to share my message.
The only reason why I care is because you're wearing a bright yellow Supreme hat. So that's the only reason I wanted you on the podcast. So now that everyone can see that on YouTube, I think we're done here.
Somebody's got to bring some swag to the real estate world.
Come on, man. Come on. I love it, bro. Well, first and foremost, if you're not following Naaman, you need to go follow Naaman right now. And I'll get at the end of this episode, we'll give you all his contact info. But this guy is an influencer, but not just to be an influencer. He's really delivering knowledge. He has a community he's built. He's really putting it out there on how to be successful in the real estate space. And so let's kind of get into, your business as a moment in time really has been built off sales, people, communication. Talk to me a little bit about how you have found success in the 3 years or so that you've been in business.
Yeah. So the word that jumps out to me is success, right? That's a lot. Success. What's funny is that when I started this, it started out because I wanted to be successful. I've recently accepted the fact that I'm now a real estate influencer in the last 6 or 7 months, but that's not how this started when I got into it 3 years ago. I was just trying to burr houses and build wealth. Right. And it just so happened this fit my personality, and I've kind of become this version of who I am today. As it was really funny whenever I just started recently hearing that influencer and Instagram influencer, real estate investor influencer. And I'm like, it's so crazy that is where I've ended up in the grand scheme and scope of things. Because it's really awesome because you get a lot of benefits from being an influencer. But the success has come from one, communicating, being a master communicator, talking to people, helping people, offering value with no expectations in return. And that sort of go-giver mentality and attitude has enabled me to get into doors and places that I never would have expected or anticipated to be a part of. Like some of the masterminds that we're in, some of the events that we attend. The investor/influencer route has been a blessing.
Well, so let's talk about that, right? We talked about communications being kind of your strong suit, sales specifically, and the people, right? In influential, creating influence in the space. Now, many of my listeners may have zero cares about becoming an influencer, right? And being on social media and TikTok and Instagram and all that. And real estate investors, so be it. But the thing that you're saying that I think everyone needs to really pay attention starting right now, if you haven't been already, is the people component. The reason why influencers have the opportunity to gain success or make a lot of money is because they're connecting to the people, right? And recently I've been speaking with Brad Lee a decent amount, and I consider him a friend, but also a mentor, right? He's ahead of me in business. And so anytime I can learn from him, I'm going to. But he said this, is every dollar you make can be connected to a relationship before that. And so talk to us about just your ability to communicate and what a mastermind like Boardroom that we both are a part of can mean to your business, and how you're able to create those relationships to better your income, to better your wealth accumulation, to better just your business overall.
Yeah, I'll start off with a funny catchphrase. The more relationships I make, the more revenue I take. All right. So it's the more people I talk to, the more money I make, man. The more hands I shake, the more money gets put in the bank. It's a ton of fun talking to people and being I didn't even know we were going to cover this topic, but being an influencer, I mentioned again, not something to set out to be. It's something that I attracted. just my personality by wearing my bright yellow fucking hat. You know what I mean? Like,
that's it.
People want to say, who's the dude with the chain and the hat? Right. And if people want to know what you're doing when you have a certain level of success. So like, if someone's, saying, oh, I don't want to be an influencer. I didn't even want to be an influencer either. I started real estate investing with like 2,000 followers. Right?
Well, let's stop there. So how many do you have now?
15,000. 15,000.
Okay.
Just really in a year and a half of like posting in social media.
So let's just call it 8x'd your, influence. Now, here's the point I'm trying to make for all you real estate investors that might be thinking, Justin, name and what. This has nothing to do with helping me in real estate. I'm going to disagree emphatically if that's what you're thinking, and I want this to be very clear. You have to understand what Brad Lee, I'm using his quote, right? Every dollar you make starts with a relationship. Because I can tell you, looking back, you can only be able to look back to connect the dots, right? You can't connect the dots looking forward. Every dollar, every business I've started, everything I've ever done started with the relationships I've been able to build. I could probably talk about 5 or so people I know right now, 3 very specifically, that I've made millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars with because of knowing them and opportunities that have come from them. And so why this is important, I think is a really important subject matter for real estate investors, because whether you're a wholesaler, fix and flipper, a landlord, buy and hold, burr guy, girl, you're talking to agents, you're talking to lenders, you're talking to direct to homeowners, you're talking to contractors. The relationship component really is undervalued when educators like myself or even yourself go out and talk, right? We talk about what lists and how to market to people, and that's all fine and dandy. But the last word I just said, people, is really what matters there. And, for you to 8x your following as an influencer is only going to help you build more and more opportunity throughout the day, throughout your business, right?
Dude, money comes from talking to people. Who has all the money? People, right? So you need to talk to people if you want to make money. And there's a common misconception. I used to think this too, is that, in order to be an influencer, you need 100,000 followers. You need a lot of followers. You need a lot of people to have massive success. And truly, you can make $1 million with a couple dozen folks.
100% you can. Right?
So, like, out of my 15,000 people, all right, I just need a couple dozen that I can do deals with, that we can work together on with a common purpose and interest to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if someone's thinking like, oh, I need a ton of followers and a ton of views in order to get stuff done, I want you to think about how many people watch a reel or a story, right? Maybe, I know on average, I get around like 500 people that watch my story every day. And I've spoken on maybe only 1 or 2 stages where there were that many people in the crowd. And I was nervous as shit, standing in front of those 500 people. But think about when you have your phone. You're talking to 500 people when you do that. And you don't take that as serious as you would if you were standing on a stage. So someone that has 30 or 40 people that view their story every day, ask yourself, could I stand up in front of 30 or 40 people and share a message that's very important? And with that 3 dozen people, how much money could I make? Because I just told you how much you could make with just a couple dozen people. So take your platform, right, very serious, even if you only have those 30, 40 people watching, because it's very powerful. If 40 people knocked on your door right now and came into your living room, you would shit bricks. You'd be like, whoa, wait a minute.
So are you doing any fix and flips right now or this year or whatever? Because some people avoid contractors like the plague, right? Kind of like myself. But how many fix and flips have you done this year? Are you in the middle of, or whatever the case is?
Yeah, I prefer wholesaling houses right now.
Okay. So you're buying the home and putting it on the MLS, but you're funding the deal, right?
Yeah, our company.
Okay, great. Yes.
Our company is set up more for hotels, and we just have more success with it. We've probably done like 12 or so flips in the last 8 months now. Staying off of.
Well, brother, so it's not about the volume. What I'm getting to is the number one challenge I think newbies come up with, if you're a newbie listening to this, is like, oh, I don't have money to fix a flip. I don't have money to wholesale. I don't have money, right? The reality is, let's go back to your network. I tell my students this is the big takeaway right now so far in the last 10 minutes. Go to your Facebook, specifically Facebook, and write these words. Everyone should write this name, and you should write it and go raise yourself another 7 figures. I'm looking for capital partners on a couple real estate investment opportunities I'm looking at. If you're interested, let me know. That's it. But this goes back to the people that you're influencing, the people that want to be in your world. And if you don't know how to communicate, you need to study it, right? So we kind of started this conversation with communications, but it really has to do with how you communicate with people, right? Do people even know you're in real estate if you're listening to this? Do people even know what you're doing, that you have the interest, that you are being coached by Naaman, but that you're being coached by Justin? Do they even know any of that? Because then you're not doing a good job just communicating to the people that even know you and love you, like family and friends, in the way you should. Because I guarantee, Naaman, the money that you're buying these wholesales with and your fix and flips, you raised through, guess what, other people, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, through my masterminds. I love making people money. All right. So what we do, we're set up as an acquisitions company. I don't want to park a bunch of my dough in a bunch of crappy houses. I want to borrow some money and do it with somebody else's money, or I don't want to leverage myself. So what I've done with people consistently is, hey, you fund the deal, and we'll do a profit share on the deal. And we've done, millions of dollars from folks, right? And they're happy to do it. Not my house, not my money. It's just funding the deal, right?
And most people don't realize that's a reality, right? What I get a lot of comments is, Justin, you've done this 15 years. You've done 2,300 years. Like, yeah, now you can do this whenever you want, Justin. It's easy for you now. Well, it's easier for sure. I'm not going to disagree with you. But I also had to start somewhere. There's always the first dollar you raise. There's always the first JV partner that you structure a deal with and profit share. Like, you just got to get going. But most people don't even just go out there and ask, how did you even go find your first couple of dollars to do JV deals on?
Justin, let me just kill that misconception, because I've been in this business real estate investing for 3 years, wholesaling for just 2. All right, I started out burning houses. That was my intro into the business, right? And I joined masterminds and joined some coaching programs to learn the business. And in those rooms, I found the people with the money. People with the money are in those rooms. It's not your uncle, right? It's not your mom. It's not those people. I got a lady I borrowed over $1 million from. I've never met her one time. Never met her.
Isn't that crazy?
We've done like 6 deals together. I just call her and I go, hey, you want to fund this one and do this, run this play again? She's always in, right? So it's getting in the right rooms for people. And I'm telling you, I haven't been doing this for 15 years, right? We've been doing this. Dude, 3 short years. And I have only been doing it full time for about 10 months. I haven't even been out of the Army a whole year yet. So a lot of people think like, I was doing this full time for 3 years. No, I was doing it part time for 2 years, and then full time now for about 10 months.
So how much money have you made that private investor, that lady you borrowed $1 million or 7 figures from, whatever?
I don't even know the number.
20%, 30%?
Yeah, for sure. She's making some of the deals we split 50-50, just because like I saw this is the way.
Of course.
Let me explain this to real quick, just for the person that has $0. This is how you make money. You analyze every wholesale deal that you can see. You get on everybody's list. You find a deal, right, that's below market value. You have a private money investor that will invest with you and believes that you can analyze a deal correctly and run the play correctly. You use their money to buy that wholesaler's deal, put it on the MLS, and do a profit share with that private money investor. It was not your house. It was the wholesaler's house. It was not your money. It was your private money investor's money. All you had to do was manage the listing. And you could probably even hire an agent to do that, right? That's how you can make money in this business with $0, with never having done a deal, without understanding how to, without having any money, understanding exactly how this works. That's the play. Find a good deal, find the money to do it, get it on the MLS. If it's below market value, you can make some money here, and profit share with your investor. How hard is that to do over and over and over and over?
So, I want you to tell me, how do you find the money? And then how do you structure the partner share?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So finding the money is one, posting what you just said, right? There's people that have courses on raising private money and stuff like that for like a couple $100. Like, you can get that stuff really easy. There's so much access to things like that. So, learning how to raise private money, getting inside of Facebook groups, say, hey, this is what I'm looking to do profit shares with people on below market off or below retail off market deals. If you're interested, send me a DM. There's never a shortage of money, just an abundance of excuses, right? There's always more money.
Right.
There's just excuses on how you can't find it. So what we do is we use the subject property as collateral against the money. So like, hey, if your money gets tied up, you get the house, right? So even if you don't sell it, it's not your house now. It's just that person gets the property, and you do a promissory note and guarantee all that. And I mean, it's really that simple. To run that play. And I've done that with a lot of investors, because we acquire houses off market. We'll buy them, let somebody else fund them, and just share the profit.
The key here, guys, is listen, I literally just did a recording on my multi-million-dollar flip that I lost $250,000. I had a very similar structure in that, where I had a private lender come in and we were JVing on the deal. The key is, especially when you're just getting started, be aware of the price point of the deal, because if that private lender has to take back the deal or gets the home, they likely are going to want to rent it out and just keep it as a rental. So make sure, in my opinion, that you're staying in that price point where it could be a good flip or a good rental. It could work for both, because in the case something does go wrong, at least the lender and yourself are essentially protected, because the asset will work in both different verticals. I was doing a multi-million-dollar flip, so really the only exit was going to be the rehab flip. And it didn't work. Let me just tell you that. You guys should go check out my Instagram, because I just posted the case study on this deal. Lost $250,000 on one single flip. So now let's kind of move on to, where do you see yourself progressing or evolving, right? You've done this for 3 years. You've done well into the 7 figures. First of all, let me take a step back. What can you tell the newbie right now? You've only done this 3 years. You're well into the 7 figures. You're rocking and rolling. What would you tell the newbie right now listening?
Learn sales and build a network. Surround yourself with people that are in this business, not the naysayers, and just keep the blinders on, away from the haters. Right? Don't listen to what people that are not doing this business are saying. Okay, get around people that know this business. Get in those rooms, continue to educate yourself, work on the self-development portion of it. But most importantly, you just have to learn sales. That sales key right there. I mean, you don't even have to be real estate. If you can just learn how to sell anything, we can make it out here. So learn sales and get in the right rooms, and keep educating yourself in this real estate industry.
I think all of that goes back to the one word you're using, is learn. Right? Getting in the right rooms is massive. Naaman and I were kind of discussing prior to this episode, which should have been on the episode, but just like the value of the rooms that he and I are in, and the people in those rooms are absolutely everything. As I just said, there's probably 5 people that I can say I've made well under $10 million, tens of millions of dollars. 3 specifically I'm very aware of. I've been able to do that with those relationships. But it's a mutually benefit. Those people now become my best friends, right? Those people are like a part of my world. It is not like I use them, they use me. It really becomes a life, right? Where it's business and life together, which is really incredible. But, kind of going back to the rooms and growth and in that kind of spot, newbies need that, right? They need a part of the community. You have a community, I have a community. If you're new to anything, if I wanted to go be a dentist, I would need to be around other dentists. Right? Like, I can't just say, I'm going to go be a dentist.
But not just that, man. Being an entrepreneur is lonely, right? You're in a room by yourself or with one other person for most of the time when you first get started, and it can get real lonely, dude. You need someone to share wins and losses with, have some accountability with. And that's why there's so many little micro communities that exist, right? Because you're trying to find your tribe of people, right? There's somebody out there who's listening that's going to watch this and go, you know what? I want to see what the guy with the Supreme hat's about, right? Like,
there's no doubt.
I'll go look him up on Instagram and see what he's got going on, right? And whether or not you're rocking with how we're moving, you'll find your people, right? And if I'm not your person, I love to just push people to who I think they're supposed to get connected with. I want the phone, right? I want the phone that has everybody's number in it, where I'm like, I'm not your guy, but you should check this dude out. I'm not your guy.
That's right.
You should go over here. You know, you're a little too far, you're a little too far ahead, but I know who to connect you with, right? Like that's who I want to be for this industry.
Do you think everyone needs to have money when they first get started, or access to money? Maybe not their own, but access to it. And if so, where do they find it?
No, the money thing I think is another misconception. You will attract the success by the person you become, right? So if you continue to work on self-development and become a better person, right? I like to share this message. I'm gonna share this message because I love sharing it. But
Bring it. Let's go.
The 7-figure earner, right, is not always a 7-figure father, not always the 7-figure husband, not always a 7-figure man, right? If you can master being a 7-figure husband, father, and man, being a 7-figure earner will be attracted to you. And you won't have to go finding money. It'll come to you. I can't tell you how many people are inbox me. I got 50,000. What should I do? I got 100,000. What should I do? Hey, I got a deal. You want to JV it? Because I'm attracting that success by the person I became. I didn't go out looking to make $1 million, right? I came out with a big heart, open arms. How can I help? And that is what attracted the success.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people get very selfish in the sense of like, what's in it for me? And it's kind of human nature, right? To some extent, like what's in it for me type of mentality. But if you go around providing value to others, right? Offering services, value, products, tools that can create value like to others in a genuine way without being salesy or slimy, but can do it in that way, it always comes back to tenfold. I think the missing ingredient that most people breaking into this industry, they forget this. And again, I try not to get too California woo-woo on you, but like your thoughts really do become your words, and your words really do become your actions. And that's the baseline, right? And then there's habits and all those other things. But if you're trying to get somewhere and you're thinking the right thoughts, you're going to start speaking the right words that attract the right opportunities, right? And then all you have to do is create, how do I provide value to that opportunity? And if I can create value to that opportunity, it could be a relationship, it could be a deal, it could be something, then you're going to end up getting what you're looking for. The challenge I see, go ahead.
First person story right here, me and you, right? We've crossed paths 10 other times at events, at the masterminds, whatever. And we fist bump, say hi, stuff like that. But no like deep relationship was formed during those times, right? Where it was formed is when you reached out, you needed assistance with a few things here in Dallas with no hesitation or expectations of anything in return. We're like, yo, we got you. Multiple times, right? And I think that's what got us here together. And that's what's building a relationship moving forward. Not even just, we were in the same room together and it wasn't.
Totally.
Right? It happened via text, phone call, and now Zoom or whatever,
Slack, text, phone call. Like even as recent as yesterday, I hit you up about this deal I was looking to buy in Dallas and I needed a contractor, right? And so, but you being so giving, right? And just saying, hey, whatever you need is, the answer is yes, I got you. I'll get you this, I'll get you this. Then I say, okay, well, how do I provide value back to Naaman, right? And there's a lot of ways I can do it, but one of them being, hey, why don't I lift his profile up on my podcast? I've had a podcast since 2014. I get tens and tens and tens of thousands of downloads every single episode. This can help him, right, in his journey. So why not reciprocate some of the givings that he's given me with connections and people in the Dallas market by helping him like this? But it's by always being able to offer that value first. Too many people feel like, what's going to be in it for me first?
Yeah. Yep. I didn't say, hey, I'll do that for you if you told me on the podcast, right? Like that's what people, do incorrectly is what I think, right?
Well, it goes back to the communications, right? So let's kind of circle this. Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, circle all the way back to communication. You didn't ask for anything. I called you, I asked. And then because you didn't ask for anything, I saw the character who you were and how we communicated, what you were willing to offer and things of that nature. And so I then reciprocate that because I said, hey, dude, this is a good dude. He's not asked for anything. I'm calling and asking favors and he's not. And he's being a good enough communicator and a good enough value add to my world that I want to be able to add value to his world. And this is where it goes back to the two main points that we're talking about here on today's episode: people and communications. Master them, right? Master communications, because it's only going to drive more people your way. And when you have more people your way, you're going to be able to find more money to buy flips. You're going to be able to do more deals. You're going to be able to build this empire, right? Because of people, right? People is the foundation of it all. I call it the number one pillar of real estate is your network. It's your people. So dude, first of all, thank you for the givings you've given me with the contractors in Dallas. And if you guys need things, the man lives in Dallas, although you do a virtual business. And I know we haven't gotten much about your actual business. Talk to us a little bit about what your actual business looks like right now as it stands.
Yeah, I'll share my headshot concept. I think that's one of the main things people need to hear. So we're a nationwide virtual wholesale operation that flips and hotels properties in Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you need deals, move nationwide. We have a big JV operation and we love to buy houses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that's what we do. And then we also do a lot of sales coaching and training. We show people our sales process, how to overcome objections, how to be a master communicator and talk on the phone. That's what our education drive and passion is right now.
Love that, dude. Well, how does everyone find you, dude? Where can they all go look up Naaman and go get their yellow hats?
Yeah, you want to, dude, the yellow hat's about to come in hot.
Come on, man. I need this in Austin when we're together. You got to rock yellow hat. We need some selfies. We got to get some pictures together. But yeah, where does everyone find my man Naaman?
Yeah, Instagram is the main channel that I like to communicate on. So at Naaman Taylor Investor, Naaman, Naaman like from the Bible, Naaman Taylor Investor. Follow me there. I answer all my DMs. So if you need something, hit me up. We love to connect on there, and I'll follow you back. And whatever you guys need, man, let's just follow each other's journey. Let's share, all the resources we can with each other. Let's connect, and let's do some deals and make some money.
That's it. Listen, this guy's the real deal. He invited me to speak to his tribe. It was an honor. Great people in his tribe. He gives and gives and gives. So he's the real deal. Make sure you guys are going and follow him on Instagram. And because he actually communicates, a lot of people don't, make sure to reach out, ask the questions that you need. My brother, I appreciate you giving back to my tribe here at the Science of Flipping, dude. It's going to be an incredible journey. I'm glad to be alongside of you on that journey, and anything I can do for you, you just let me know moving forward, because you've had the grace in your heart to give to me. So whatever I can do for you, brother, you've got it. Anything before we leave?
I see you in Austin, my man. See you in Austin.
I see you in Austin, brother. Right on. All right, everybody. That's it. Peace.